Hi, and thank you for listening. This is Andrea again, and this time I'm coming to you to talk about um how can I put this? Stopping the problem of picking up and absorbing the negative energies from people, your environment, situations you deal with, um, like for example, interactions with coworkers, interactions with friends and neighbors, where you may pick up a connection, or even dealing with someone, even if it's someone you don't know who's in a bad place, and maybe you're an empath or you're highly sensitive, and you find yourself walking away, having made that connection to them and picking up that energy that later still continues to affect you because now you've established this connection that just doesn't get broken just because you've walked away from them, or you've hung up the phone from them, or because it's been a couple of days. No, these connections that you form to people that you either talk to, deal with, think about you think about them, these aren't just broken just because you stop thinking about them or because you're not around them anymore. They stay for a period of time, which means hour after hour, day after day, week after week, the connections keep piling on until they're like really literally dragging you down. Like some of you may say, oh, I never remember my dreams, but maybe it's because you're not as clear as you think you are. I'm sorry. I forgot to turn the my speaker volume down. Hold on. Sorry. Sorry about that. Um, sorry. Normally I would edit that out, but I'm without a laptop right now for the next couple of days because my laptop um, kind of died on me and I had to get it fixed. So I'm not going to have it back for 2 or 3 days still. So bear with me because I'm doing videos from my tablet and I'm kind of not used to using my tablet to do it. So I don't even know how to edit them. So I'm going to have to leave that in there. Okay, so just bear with me. Okay, so let me just get this out of the way. If you're looking for me, you can find me at sherryspeaks.com. If you watch my videos and they've helped you, feel free to make a donation. Of course, I would appreciate it. And you can go to my website to do that. On the menu, you'll see where it says donate, and then when you go to the donate page, it shows you several different methods, different ways you can donate. PayPal, Venmo, Stripe if you want to make use your credit card or your debit card to make a direct donation without having to use PayPal. So, okay, so on to what I'm talking about. Okay, so, excuse me, this video really isn't about explaining to you what happens with these connections forming because I have other videos that explain that. So if you look up any of my videos that are related to empathy, then you'll find all that information where I go into detail. But for this one, what I want to explain to you is um, a simple thing that you can do to help keep yourself from being weighed down by these connections. Well, one of the simple things that I do that I wanted to share is I usually happen to have always, and I even sleep with them. Like I sleep in shorts and a t-shirt. So I even sleep with these crystals in my pocket. Okay, I always have these three crystals in my pocket. One is a snowflake obsidian. Now you don't have to have let me get it closer. You don't have to have a snowflake obsidian. Oh, here's the other side of it, how it looks. You don't have to have a snowflake obsidian. You could use snowflake obsidian, also called Apache tears, onyx, black tourmaline is excellent, one of the best, one of the most effective, I should say. Black tourmaline is expensive, however, but if you can get your hands on a small piece, You see how big this is. It's just a small tumbled stone. However, the size does not matter. Size doesn't matter in this case. Okay, and then I also have amethyst. Love my amethyst. It's the amethyst, as you can see. Sorry, trying to make it so you can see it good. Okay, and the most effective one of the three, the one that's really doing the work, my favorite, citrine. This is citrine, and you notice it's kind of yellow, and it's kind of yellow and white. And actually, the white parts of it is basically clear quartz that's kind of mixed in there with the citrine. So some pieces of citrine, like I have other pieces, I have tons of citrine, but I could show you another piece of citrine that doesn't have so much white in it, where it's almost all citrine. But like I said, size doesn't matter. No matter your citrine, even if it's got onyx mixed in it, even if it doesn't look like there's very much citrine in it, it doesn't matter. It's still very effective. Citrine is very effective. Okay, so let's now go over the properties of why I have these three stones, why I carry them around in my pocket. Um, okay, so whichever black stone you're going to use, any one of the ones I mentioned, what this is doing for me is I like to use a stone. I mean, you can also add to this, use a fourth stone, hematite. Hematite is great for grounding. Empaths, your problem is that you will commonly become ungrounded. You become ungrounded so easily. If you just lose your cool, you become ungrounded. If the wind blows, you become ungrounded. So add a hematite to that if you want to help yourself stay grounded. What I'm using this stone for, however, is basically protection. So your black crystals normally work well for not only protection, but many of them have the properties of grounding as well. What I'm using the amethyst for is the awesome thing about amethyst is amethyst will clear every major chakra. Okay, for example, you may have a crystal that's mainly works good for clearing one particular chakra. Well, the great thing about amethyst is it clears all seven. It can be used on all seven of the major chakras. So it's a very versatile stone. So it'll help keep all your seven major chakras clear. The citrine, my favorite. The great thing about citrine, the best property of it, is that it never has to be cleaned or cleared. You never have to worry about clearing it. Why? Because it's a self-transmuting stone. What it does is absorbs all negative energies from you or in the environment and transmutes those negative energies back to pure positive energy. So since it transmutes the energy, that's the reason why it never has to be cleaned, because it's not just absorbing the energy, it's absorbing it and changing it back to the positive. Whereas anything this stone happens to absorb, it does not get transmuted. So you know what that means. These other two stones, the snowflake obsidian and the amethyst, you would need to clear those, and you can clear these two by simply sitting them in a bowl of sea salt, rinsing them over running water, under running water, leaving them outside to clear themselves in the moonlight. But my favorite way, I prefer sea salt, because for the majority of the crystals I have, sea salt is okay to use with them. Not You can't let all crystals run underwater. Like for example, selenite, you run that underwater, the crystal's going to dissolve because it's very porous. So you have to be careful about what stones you will run underwater. So that's why I say use sea salt. It's a safer choice. Now, the great thing with citrine, it's not only that it'll absorb and transmute the negative energy, with you never having to clean this stone will also clear other stones. So let's say, for example, you buy one of those long necklaces um, that have the really small citrine chips on it. You might be able to buy one of those necklaces for only like $8, and then you cut the strand, dump those crystals out in a small little candy dish bowl so they fill it, and then crystals that you need to clear, like these, just sit them on top. And the citrine crystals will clear these crystals. Awesome way, an easy way to clear crystals, to just be able to sit them in that candy dish of citrine. Also, with this candy dish of citrine sitting in your room, it will help keep the room clear of negative energy. So as you have guests come over and such and such, it'll keep it clear. It has the effect of them leaving their baggage at the door. You know what I mean? And not bringing it in and leaving it in your home or in your office at work. So also about citrine, the great thing is that with citrine on you, it usually doesn't allow connections to form between you and others. So those cords between you and others that I often talk to you about clearing and severing, most of those will not form while this is on you. However, it's important to note that will not stop you from being able to use your abilities. This does not mean if you want to do a reading for a person that you have to take that stone off your person. No, you can still purposely connect to that person. You can still make that purposeful connection while you're doing your reading. Now, I don't connect to people when I'm doing readings. I know that sounds funny, but I don't go through the process of actually connecting to you when I do a reading. I used to, but now I no longer need to, because what I'm doing is, instead of me connecting from you and like kind of pulling that information from you, affecting you also because I've connected to you, instead I am getting that information by way of my higher self. It is my higher self that's going to do all the work for me. So you could say in a way I'm connecting to you, but in a way I'm not. Okay, so that's a great thing about citrine. If you're an empath, this will keep you fairly clear. Um, Now, it won't keep people from reading you. People would still be able to read you. That's not going to stop it. But I mean, if you're concerned about that, or you want a stronger protection than what the snowflake obsidian or obsidian or onyx or whatever you're using gives you, you can program the crystal to do more. Now I'll just tell you the way I program crystals. I just put the crystal in my hand while I focus on it. First of all, I clear it first, so I might visualize that the crystal is surrounded by the violet flame. So I might visualize seeing a violet flame surrounding it while focusing on it and thinking of my intention of it being cleared. Then I'm going to program it. So I'm going to be focusing on it, thinking of my intention of what I want this crystal to do. And that's what I'm going to be thinking and focusing on through my mind as I basically, I a lot of times will visualize it being surrounded by just bright white energy as I'm programming it. So that's just how I program crystals. I very rarely program crystals, but that's how I do it. That's sometimes how I clear crystals, is I'll hold them in my hand, visualize a violet flame, focus on it for a minute while thinking of the intention of wanting to clear the crystal. If I'm going to give a crystal to someone, often that is what I do. While I might be chatting with them, they may not be realizing I'm doing something, but while I'm holding it in my hand, I'm actually clearing it to remove any of my energy from it before I give it to them as a gift. So, give it a try and see how you like it. Also, these same three crystals, if you have children that suffer from night terrors, I remember my son used to suffer from night terrors. He'd wake up screaming. Well, he doesn't do that anymore. Ever since I put these three crystals under his mattress, just in the middle, under his mattress, he doesn't do that anymore. Now he sleeps well at night. Um, I remember when he got a new bed. I had cleaned his whole room, taken the crystals from under the mattress and put them aside for safekeeping. And then when we put up his new bed and everything, got his room ready, that night I forgot to put the crystals back. Well, guess what? He had night terrors that night. He woke up screaming. And oh yeah, I forgot the crystals. I put them back under there, problem solved. So, what it does for my child is the whole um, idea and concept is that while he's sleeping and these are under the mattress, while he sleeps at night, he's being cleared. You know, with the citrine and the amethyst under there, is while he sleeps, he's being cleared, and then he'll wake up nice and refreshed and renewed. Okay, they're not miracle crystals, so if the day before he's twisted his ankle, he's probably still going to wake up with a twisted ankle, you know, with an ankle that hurts. So they're not, you know, these aren't miracle stones. However, they will help you considerably to keep your environment clear. I just want to also mention, I think I've heard the citrine stone, also called the money stone. I know I've read where shop owners will keep some citrine in their cash drawer to help attract money. So this also is a stone that's great for financial abundance. So just in case you're wondering, hey, any little bit helps, right? So keep that in mind as well. Maybe you're working on the law of attraction manifestation. Well, maybe you want to incorporate into that the use of the citrine crystal then. Um, so anyway, I hope that this helps. Hope you learned a little something. Now, let me just mention before I go, for any of you under psychic or spiritual attack, these crystals are not gonna stop it, not all by themselves. Um, Most purposefully done spiritual and psychic attacks can easily get around what these crystals do. And so you would need something a little bit more heavy duty than this, and you would need a combination of many things. So I don't want you thinking these crystals will protect you from psychic or spiritual attack. So I don't want you to have them in your pocket going, you know, why do I still feel this energy? No, they're not miracle crystals. They have a purpose and they will do what their property suggests. In fact, they will do, and I can tell you that from personal experience. I've been using crystals for a while. These are just happen to be my three favorites. Some of my other favorites are selenite. I love selenite, but it does have a stronger energy. Um, you know, if you're not familiar with it, not familiar with working with it, it's not the crystal that you buy and have in your bedroom as you try to sleep at night. It will keep you awake because the energy is so strong. You have to gradually get used to the energy of the crystal by like keeping it somewhere else in your house. I used to keep mine near my kitchen dining room area so that it wasn't anywhere near where me and my son sleep at, so that it wouldn't disturb our sleep and keep us up because of its strong energy. But like I said, these three crystals, they're just my go-to crystals. They help keep me clear. They help keep me from forming connections. Um, and you want to take a break from them every now and then, though, um, because sometimes I don't even know how to explain this. You want to take a break from having the crystals on you. You don't want to 24/7 for a year have these crystals always on you. You do want to take a break from having them on you. You do want to be able to make those connections and feel, so that you can get the experience of also having to keep yourself clear in other ways and being able to feel and recognize when a connection is, you have formed one to someone else, and to try to give you the time to experience, oh, okay, well, who is this? You know, who do I feel like I'm connected to? Who do I think this is? You still want to be able to learn to do that whole discernment. You want to be able to learn that. But anyway, I hope that you found this information helpful. Like I said, if you're looking for me, you can find me at sherryspeaks.com, where you can find all different kinds of things. The attunements are there, which many of them are only $2.50. I create custom certificates for the attunements. Whether I did your attunement or somebody else did your attunement, you can request them and you just give me the details. Um, the name, the date, and the master's name you want on the certificate. And the certificates are only $1.25. I also have crystal attunement packages that have, like, I don't know, 16 crystal attunements in it to various crystals. Dolphin attunement package, which is popular. I have the Reiki psychic attunement as well. Lavender Reiki, which is very popular. So feel free to visit me at my website, contact me through there, or make a donation. Don't forget to like the video and to subscribe, please. Thank you, and I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.